The Chicago Bears are not tanking. What's up, guys? Swift here, covering everything Chicago Bears with daily videos, updates, and in-depth analysis. After the Bears traded off Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, I made the statement that I believe the Bears were no longer interested in winning this year. I'm back to say that I was wrong on that statement. It's never really about me being right or wrong. I'm not a guy that cares much about that. I only care about the Bears winning a Super Bowl before I die. But after trading for Chase Claypool and giving this offense a dynamic weapon in the passing attack, I believe I may have been a little premature with that statement. The fact that we upped the ante on the Packers and were willing to include our own second round pick to get Claypool tells me that it was more about the team's self-evaluation during the mini bye than it was deciding to tank. Real quick, it has been confirmed by too many people that the Packers were interested in Chase Claypool. I said I thought we may have got him because Steelers value our draft pick higher than the Packers, and that's pretty much being confirmed now.
It was the second round pick the Bears already held because that, Chris, was the difference maker. The Packers were in this, but the Steelers ultimately decided at the end of the day, we think the Bears' second round pick is going to be higher than the Packers, so we'll take the Bears' second round pick.
So great move by Ryan Poles, not only getting us a dynamic weapon like Chase Claypool, but also sticking it to the Packers. Ryan Poles wants to build through the draft. That much is clear. However, after having 8 weeks to see how Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn fit into Eberflus's system, I believe they decided it was better for the short term and long term if they traded those guys away. I'm not saying that the coaching staff thought the team was better without Roquan, just that the team may be better off using those assets elsewhere on offense instead of linebacker. Let me break it down a little further. So I got an interesting clip here on the topic. Coach Eberflus was with the Indianapolis Colts the year Roquan Smith was drafted. The Colts took Quentin Nelson just a few picks ahead of Roquan Smith in the NFL draft. So they asked Coach Eberflus, was he advocating for Roquan Smith at that time during the draft? And his answer is very, very telling. One, no, he was not. But two, he says basically his GM was not in the business of taking an off-ball linebacker that high and laughs it off. And that's kind of the view around the league that I think a lot of fans didn't understand. No one is that high on a linebacker. It's just not a game-changing position in the NFL anymore like it used to be. I'm going to let you listen to Coach Fluke. Okay, here we go.
In 2018, you guys had a very high draft pick. If they hadn't taken Quentin Nelson, were you advocating for Roquan?
At 5,
He went a couple picks later, yeah.
it was 5. He was 11, right? I believe 8. Okay, yeah. I don't think that we at that time Ballard was in the business of taking a off the ball linebacker at 8. I don't think I could convince him of that.
That was Coach Eberflus on the value of an off-ball linebacker. And now here is our defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, telling you he believes this defense will be better without Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn the rest of this season.
Can you be better without them than with them?
I think so, yes. We will. No, not can, we will. We will. Thanks, everyone.
Eberflus was basically saying you don't draft an off-ball linebacker that high. That is basically also saying that you don't spend huge chunks of the salary cap on the position either. That is our defensive head coach telling you that taking a linebacker like Roquan in the top 10 of the NFL draft is simply bad business. So it makes sense that a guy who feels this way and understands the dynamics of NFL roster building, this move made perfect sense. Instead of overpaying for a position that your own head coach and GM don't value as highly, why not flip that asset and turn it into a position that they do value more highly and a guy that can help your QB right now? Both Roquan Smith and Chase Claypool are very young, talented NFL players. Both have had success at the NFL level, but Claypool has another year and a half on his rookie deal and a dynamic quarterback to work with. He was also the victim of circumstances in Pittsburgh. You can see how much potential he has You watch tape of his rookie year. You simply do not score 9 touchdowns in the NFL as a rookie unless you are supremely talented. Year 2 of Claypool's career was affected by Ben Roethlisberger's dead arm. It was clear to most people who watched the Steelers last year that Ben's arm strength was just not there anymore. Claypool still put up 800 plus yards, but couldn't match his TD production.
I'm a playmaker, and I'm excited to make plays. I feel like I didn't have the full opportunity to show what I can do.
Then this season, the Steelers double dipped at wide receiver in the draft with George Pickens and Calvin Austin. They also just paid Deontay Johnson and have emerging young tight end Pat Freiermuth to feed targets to as well. This led them to playing Chase Claypool out of position all year long. They used him as a big slot guy and tight end for 80% of the routes this year. This fails to take advantage of Claypool's biggest strength, his ability to beat press coverage, take the top off a defense, and win contested catches and jump balls. The Bears, in my opinion, will not be using Claypool that way. I think he will line up out wide as our starting X receiver. I don't know if he'll be able to start against the Dolphins, but I do expect him to play. His role for the first start is to be determined, though. Back to my main point, though. Our head coach specializes in finding guys who can play linebacker and getting more out of his defense than is expected. So overpaying for a linebacker position that simply isn't as valuable in the NFL right now isn't how this front office wants to build, and I'm all for it. I assumed we were just collecting assets when we traded Roquan and Robert Quinn. However, after making a big move for Chase Claypool, I believe this could potentially improve our team this season and in the future. Our defense was already bad. We gave up 50 points to the Cowboys with Roquan. Let's give our offense a chance to keep up with teams or get out to early leads. This will allow our defense to do what it does best, get after the quarterback and let the secondary come up with big plays and create turnovers. If our offense can truly take a step forward, this will only help us keep up with other teams and possibly win more games than we would have with Roquan. It'll be very interesting as our offense now looks to potentially be very scary moving forward. If our offensive line can pass block a little better, we should score a lot more points. Our defense, meanwhile, it can't really get that much worse, can it? Well, Alan Williams was asked about this question specifically, and he said he expects the defense will not only be just as good, but will play better during the second half of the season.
Can you be better without them than with them?
I think so, yes. We will, no, not can, we will, we will.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, you just heard it from defensive coordinator Alan Williams. They will be better, especially if Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker continue improving or Dominique Robinson takes a step forward. There is potential for us to be a much better team down the stretch of the season now. It still comes down to execution. Our offense continues taking steps forward, and Justin Fields continues showing how great he can be. It will take time for the offense to come together fully, as timing and chemistry are very important. Our quarterback is already staying after practice and helping Claypool learn the playbook and practice running routes. So we could potentially see some dividends from this trade very soon. Also have to point out that Chase Claypool is easily our best wide receiver now and will demand the defense's attention. No offense to Darnell Mooney or N'Keal Harry. I love both those dudes, but Claypool is on another level right now. He has potential to be a top 5 wide receiver in the entire league. But the bottom line and my point is, I was simply wrong when I said the team was tanking or not interested in winning the rest of the season. And I think this team still has the potential to win between 6 and 9 games, just like I said in the offseason. No wins will come easy, but if this defense can create a turnover or two, I believe we can compete with almost anyone in the NFL, especially once this offense gets into a rhythm. We now have some legit weapons on offense to help out Justin Fields. This is what I've been waiting for. I am dreaming of watching Justin Fields toss touchdown passes to Chase Claypool in a Bears uniform for the next 10 plus years. We face the Miami Dolphins this weekend, and then we get our first shot at the Detroit Lions next week. I'm trying to not look ahead to the Lions game. It will be Claypool's second week and N'Keal Harry's fourth game. We also get to unleash our offense against that Lions defense. I can't wait. I actually think there's a good chance that our offense breaks out a little bit this week. I'll get more into that when I drop my Dolphins game preview Friday or Saturday. Stay tuned. Remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.